The Chris Reeve Sebenza 21. By far the most amount of money I have ever spent on one single knife. I held my breath as I clicked on that add to cart button, and after the transaction was all completed, I sat there for a little bit and I just thought to myself, Jay, what in the heck did you just do? Hey, how you doing? I'm Jay, and if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point, go ahead, click on that subscribe button, and you also have to remember, hit that bell notification, because what that does, it will alert you anytime I release a new video. So right about now, you should be looking at some specs. Now, these are all measurements that I'd personally taken myself, but you know what, don't worry, they'll also be listed down in the description below, just for those of you that kind of want to follow along throughout the video. First though, let's quickly take care of those size comparisons. First, let's go ahead and we'll start with the Spyderco PM2, and then a Benchmade, the 940, zero tolerance, the ZT 0562, and then we'll finish this up with a Kershaw and the Blur. By now I know, you know, just about everybody in this hobby is familiar with the Sebenza 21. I mean, this is the knife that many of you consider to be just the pinnacle of production folders. I mean, the best of the best. And so as a knife reviewer, I feel that it's my job to provide you with some, you know, accurate information and with honest and, well, at least try to be unbiased opinions. Now, to do that, I have to stay incredibly informed. And at the same time, I have to handle as many knives as I possibly can. So, enter the Chris Reeve Knives Sebenza 21. My thought is that, you know what, I have to experience the absolute best, which is going to help me to give me perspective. Now, I'm not saying that reviewers who have never handled a Chris Reeve knife are any less effective, because we know that's not true. There are so many great channels, so many talented creators out there on YouTube. A lot of what makes the Sebenza 21 this fantastic and this, come on, I mean, let's admit it, expensive, are the tight tolerances. I mean, we're talking, according to Chris Reeve, okay, we're talking about measurements that are thinner than a strand of human hair. Think about that for just a minute. And this knife has a lifetime warranty, and it really is meant to be the only knife that you will ever need to own. Not too many knives, you know, have been around this long, yet still relevant. I mean, today, since the Sebenza was first introduced, what, back in '87, I believe? And the quality which helps to achieve these insanely tight tolerances, according to Chris Reeve. Now, it all starts with these titanium scales. And apparently a lot, and we're talking about a lot of time, is spent making sure that the titanium is true, you know, straight, absolutely flat. It's one of the reasons that you will never experience any blade play on a Sebenza 21. Some of the features that make the Sebenza 21 truly unique: the blade. Check out that blade shape. Absolutely, just absolutely gorgeous. And that stonewash finish, that is a finish that you are not going to see every day. Well, at least I sure as heck don't. And the detent. The detent here is dialed in, I mean, so friggin' well, which makes for a really nice kind of a slow roll deployment, which apparently is the way that it's intended to be deployed. Now, the blade, just because, you know, with other knives, the blade will kind of jump out if you just put a little bit of pressure on the thumb stud. Not here. So it makes it so easy, since it doesn't jump out, it makes it so easy to roll it slowly open. And we all know Chris Reeve is responsible for the development of the frame lock, or its proper name, the Reeve Integral Lock, and of course, the CPM S35 VN blade steel that they used here. Now, as long as we're talking about the blade, the hollow grind technology, and now as it's explained by Chris Reeve, is that the blade, it's going to be slightly thinner just above the edge, which that's what helps to extend the life of this blade. Now, of course, we all know that when you're sharpening a knife, you know, you're slowly, incrementally just kind of removing material. You're removing steel from the blade. And most blades now, the behind the edge measurement, that starts to become thicker and thicker the more you sharpen it. Not the case here on the Sebenza 21. Now there's quite a few things that you, quite a few features that you would, you know, normally expect to see on a knife that they're just not present here. I mean, there's no lock barred insert. There's no over travel stop. Also, to be fair, there's no lock stick either. No ball bearing pivot, because this is riding on bronze washers. The thumb studs, they're not ambidextrous. Now, I do know though that there are some versions of this that come with the double thumb studs, and of course, I know you can also go ahead and you can simply, you know, buy the double thumb stud and just kind of swap this out. The pocket clip, that's going to be one position. Yeah, it's not reversible. The screw construction, it's not Torx, okay? It takes an Allen key, which they do include in the box, so that's fantastic. But they don't use Torx screws here. This doesn't have, it doesn't have amazing action. I mean, not even close. And now, what do I mean by when I say amazing? Well, it doesn't fly open, and it sure as heck will never drop shut. Take the, you know, Benchmade Anthem here, which can be had for really pretty much the same price as the Sebenza 21. Doesn't have action, oof, like the Anthem. But to be fair, the handle, these titanium scales, they are very, very comfortable. Now, it's not like that, oh my God, this feels like it was made for me type of, you know, comfort. But the scales do feel pretty good. I mean, it's not nearly as good as, say, like the Spyderco, the Manix 2. Now, the question that everyone ultimately must know the answer to in regards to the Sebenza 21, is it worth it? Is it worth the $450 price tag? Before we get into that, I have a question for you. And all I would like to know is just, what is your most expensive knife? You don't have to let, you don't have to let everybody know the amount if you don't want to, but go ahead and include it. But just leave your answer down in the comment section below. So is it worth the price? Is the Sebenza 21, is it worth the $450? And you know what? That's really not, it's not an easy question to just answer. It's not a black or white. There's a gray area. And to be able to answer that question, we really have to kind of figure out what you or me, what value the most in a pocket knife. This is one of the simplest knives I have ever disassembled. Really, I mean that with all seriousness. It is a breeze to take apart. Do you value smooth deployment? Do you value a great warranty? I mean, it's a lifetime one, so I would say that that's pretty great. Do you value brand recognition and, you know, and the admiration that comes with it? I mean, do you care if it's made in the United States, which of course it is? I mean, do you care about really crazy tight engineering tolerances? I mean, the kind of tolerances we're talking about, you can't see with the human eye. Do you appreciate attention to detail? Check, it's definitely here. I mean, look at like where the screws are mounted, and so the material was not too thin here. You can see, look at that, it kind of flares out a little bit. I don't know about you, but that is incredible attention to detail. I mean, do you look for a sterile blade? You know, a blade with no markings. Yeah, the Sebenza 21 definitely has that. Do you appreciate the edge and the grind geometry? Do you look for like a unique looking design? Yeah, that's definitely here too. And one of the most I feel important features is going to be the resale value. I mean, the secondary market for this is very, very active. I mean, if you buy one and it's not for you, you will have no trouble whatsoever unloading it on the secondary market. And let's be honest here. I mean, the materials alone are not worth the price. S35VN, yes, it's fantastic steel. Titanium scales, absolutely. Now, with that being said, there's a few potential deal breakers, and obviously the first one being the price. It's a lot of money. It's a ridiculous amount of money. I'm not crazy about the thumb stud design. The shape of it just doesn't really grip my thumb. There are a couple times when it would slide off. And if you look at you see the anodization here on the thumb stud? Yeah, it's already starting to wear off. The action. No, I mean, I can appreciate the smoothness. I can appreciate the hydraulic, drop once you relieve the tension on that lock bar, but I mean, this is not going to be a fun knife. This is not going to be a knife that flies open and drops shut. And lastly, I wish that this was just a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. Now, the small Sebenza, I felt that was too small for me. I mean, if you value most of the things that we had already that we discussed, then absolutely, yeah, pull the trigger on it. But you can get a heck of a lot of knives for the same amount of money as this Sebenza. You could get a ZT 0562 and a Paramilitary 2 and a Gemini for the same. So now I say this in all honesty. No, I do not regret my purchase, because now I know what a Sebenza 21 is really like. All other knives, now I know what all other knives are being compared to. Oh, and hey, don't forget, go ahead, if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point, click on that subscribe button. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next video.